Hello everyone, and welcome to something slightly different. Today I'm announcing a little coding challenge with the theme of tiny chessbots. Here's the rough idea. You'll be given this C# project, which when run will bring up a chessboard where you can play against the computer. You might notice it's not playing the most inspiring chess at the moment though, so it's your task, should you accept the challenge, to try and fix that. Now, inside this folder called MyBot, you'll find a single C# script called MyBot, which is yours to modify. If we open it up, we can see it has a function called think, which needs to return a move, and as input, it's simply given the current state of the board, and a timer for keeping track of time. Right now, the bot simply looks up the legal moves on the board, and immediately returns the first one. That's not much fun, of course. So you could modify it, for example, by creating a random number generator and then returning a random move instead. If we go ahead and play the bot again now, it's a little more entertaining at least. By the way, you might have noticed this mysterious bar at the bottom of the screen telling us that the bot brain capacity is at 41 out of 1024, and that's because there's a size limit for the bots in this challenge. The size is measured in tokens, so one token, for example, could be the name of a variable, and that name will be a single token no matter how long it is, because it still just represents a single thing. Then this equal sign is another token, as is this board variable, the function name, and so on. Some things such as spaces or new lines, for instance, are not counted at all, so no need to squish everything together, that won't make a difference. Comments also do not take up any space, so basically there's no reason to write completely horrendous code, unless you want to. Well, one slightly horrible thing you do have to do is keep all of your bot's code inside this one file, because this is the only thing that you'll be submitting in the end. The purpose of this size limitation is to hopefully encourage creativity. For example, you can't just download the weights of a pre-trained neural network, they're going to be far too big. So if you want to try a machine learning approach, you'd need to train your own tiny version from scratch. And attempting to make a one-to-one copy of Stockfish's handcrafted evaluation is going to run into similar problems. So feel free to look at open source engines for ideas and inspiration if you want, but don't try to just replicate someone else's work, of course. Now, once all the entries are in, I'll then be running a tournament to find out which bot is best, and make a video that explores both the strongest as well as the most unique and creative approaches. So don't feel like your bot needs to be amazingly good to be worth submitting. I think bad bots can be very interesting too. Along with the video, I'll also release a little game featuring my favorite entries so that everyone can try playing against them. So if this sounds like a challenge you'd like to take part in, you can head over to the project's GitHub page, which I'll link in the description, and I've written out some instructions over there. Basically, you'll just need some software like Visual Studio for writing code and building the program, and then you can download the repository and open it up in Visual Studio or whatever you're using. If all goes well, you should then be able to run the project and see the chessboard. But if you run into some technical difficulties instead, then I recommend taking a look at the issues page on GitHub to see if anyone else has had a similar problem, and if not, post about it there and I'll try to help. Once you've got it working though, I'd also suggest reading through the rules I've written out here. For example, you're only allowed to use the following 5 namespaces, which eliminates some sneaky strategies such as scanning my hard drive for a copy of Stockfish and launching that in the background to do the thinking for you. You'll also find a link to this very crude documentation page I've put together, which gives an overview of all the different chess functions and so forth that are available to you in this project. Then you just need to write some code, of course, and when you're ready to test it, you have 3 options. You can choose MyBot versus MyBot to make it play a 1000-game match against itself from a bunch of random starting positions. Or you can choose Human versus MyBot to play against it yourself. And finally, you can select MyBot versus EvilBot to start a match against a super simple example bot I made. Technically, you could also replace the EvilBot's code with your own code if you want to test 2 different versions of your bot against one another. Anyway, once you're happy with your bot, you can head over to the submissions page and fill everything out. Once submitted, you'll still be able to edit your entry if you want, up until the challenge closes on the 1st of October. So I hope you'll have fun with this challenge if you decide to take part, and I'm very excited to see what everyone comes up with. Alright, that's all for now though, so until next time, cheers.